Why are parents so cruel to their children? Is there any sense in making them responsible? And how can one avoid making the same mistake? Parents are cruel to their children because parents have some investment in them. Parents have some ambitions they would like to fulfill through their children's. That's why they are cruel. They want to use the children. The moment you want to use somebody, you are bound to be cruel. In the very idea of using somebody as a means, cruelty has entered, violence has come in. Never treat another person as a means, because each person is an unto himself. Parents are cruel because they have ideas. They want their children to be this and that. They would like their children to be rich, famous, respected. They would like their children to fulfill their unfulfilled egos. Their children are going to be their journeys. The father wanted to be rich but could not succeed, and now death is approaching. Sooner or later, he will be cut off from life. He feels frustrated. He has not yet arrived. He was still searching and seeking, and now comes death. This looks so unjust. He would like his son to carry on the work because his son represents him. He is his blood. He is his protection, his part. He is his immortality. Who knows about the soul? Nobody is definite about it. People believe, but belief is out of fear. And deep down, the doubt remains. You ask me, why are parents so cruel to their children? They cannot help it because they have ideas, ambitions, desires unfulfilled. They want to fulfill them. They want to go on living through the children. Naturally, they prune, they cut, they mold, they give a pattern to the children, and the children are destroyed. That destruction is bound to happen unless a new human being arises on the earth who loves for love's sake, unless a new parenthood is conceived to love the child just for the sheer joy of it. You love the child as a gift from God. You love the child because God has been such a blessing to you. You love the child because the child is life, a guest from the unknown who has nestled into your house, into your being, who has chosen you as the nest. You are grateful and you love the child. If you really love your child, you will not give your ideas to the child. Love never gives any ideas, never any ideology. Love gives freedom. You will not mourn if your children wants to become a musician. You will not try to distract him, and you know perfectly well that being a musician is not the right kind of job to be in, that he will be poor, that he will never become very rich, that he will never become a Henry Ford. But the child wants to be a poet, and you know he will remain a beggar. You know it, but you accept it because you respect the child. Love is always respectful. Love is reverence. You respect because if this is God's desire to be fulfilled through the child, then let it be so. You don't interfere. You don't come in the way. You don't say, "This is not right. I know life more. I have lived life. You are just ignorant of life and its experiences. I know what money means. Poetry is not going to give any money. become a politician, rather, or at least become an engineer or a doctor. And the child wants to become a woodcutter, or the child wants to become a cobbler, or the child simply wants to become a vagabond and he wants to enjoy life, rest under trees and on the sea beaches and roam around the world. You don't interfere if you love. You say, okay, with my blessings, you go. You seek and search your truth. You be whatsoever you want to be. I will not stand in your way, and I will not disturb you by my experiences, because my experiences are mine. You are not me. You may have come through me, but you are not me. You are not a copy of me. You need not to be a copy of me. You are not to imitate me. I have lived my life. You live your life. I will not burden you with my unlived experiences. I will not burden you with my unfulfilled desires. I will keep you light, and I will help you whatsoever you want to be with all my blessings and with all my help. The children come through you, but they belong to God. They belong to totality. Don't possess them. Don't start thinking as if they say belong to you. Now can they belong to you? Once this vision arises in you, then there will be no cruelty. You ask, why are parents so cruel to their children? Is there any sense in making them responsible? No, I am not saying there is any sense in making them responsible, because they have suffered because of their parents, and so on and so forth. Understanding is needed. Finding scapegoats is of no help. You cannot simply say, I am destroyed because my parents have destroyed me. What can I do? I know parents are destructive, but if you become alert and aware, you can get out of the pattern that they have created and woven around you. You always remain capable of getting out of any trap that has been around you. Your friends may have been engaged, but the freedom is such, it is so intrinsic that it cannot be utterly destroyed. It always remains. You can find it again. Maybe it is difficult, arduous, hard, and uphill task, but it is not impossible. There is no point in just throwing the responsibility, because that makes you irresponsible. That's what Freudian psychoanalysis has been doing to people. That is its harm. To feel guilty is one thing. To feel responsibility is another thing. I teach you responsibility. What do I mean by responsibility? You are not responsible to your parents, and you are not responsible to any God, and you are not responsible to any priest. You are responsible to your inner being. Responsibility is freedom. Responsibility is the idea that I have to take the reins of my life in my own hands. Enough is enough. My parents have been doing harm. Whatsoever they could have done, good and bad, both they have done. Now I have become a mature person. I should take everything in my own hands and start living the way how it arises in me. I should devote all my energies to my life now, and immediately you will feel a great strength coming to you. Guilt makes you feel weak. Responsibility makes you feel strong. Responsibility gives you heart again, confidence, trust. This is the meaning of sannyas. Sannyas wants you to be free from Christianity, Hinduism, Jainism, Mohammedism, and it wants you to be free from Freudian psychoanalysts and things like that too. It wants you to live your life authentically. according to your innermost voice, not according to any outermost voice from anywhere, not according to the Bible or according to the Quran. If God has spoken in a certain way in the Quran, it was specifically meant for Muhammad, not for you. It was God's dialogue with Muhammad, not with you. You will have to find your own dialogues with God. You will have to find your own Quran. If Jesus has spoken those beautiful words, they are out of the dialogue that happened between him and the totality. Now don't go on repeating them. They are meaningless now. They are not born in you. They are not part of you. They are like a plastic flower. You can bring a plastic rose and hang it on the rose bush. Yes, they are like hat. It is not the same as when a rose flower comes out of the rose bush itself.